They say there's a road where no one returns, no signs, no exits, just a voice from your GPS telling you to turn where no road should exist. Jake ignored it once. The second time, something stepped out of the woods. Now, he hears the GPS whisper his name at night, and he's not the only one. The darkness was absolute, the kind that feels like it's swallowing you whole. My phone had buzzed earlier that night, a voice message from Jake, this guy I'd been talking to on Instagram for months. We'd clicked over random posts, our chats growing into late-night talks about life. But this message was different. His voice was shaky, like he was still reeling from something he couldn't explain. "Man, can I tell you about something freaky that went down last night?" he said. And the way his words trembled made my stomach twist. I hit play again, leaning into every detail, knowing this was no ordinary story. Jake and his parents were driving back from his grandparents' place, cutting through a lonely stretch of highway in the middle of nowhere. You know the kind. Endless. Road. Dark woods on both sides. The sort of place where the world feels like it's holding its breath. It was late. The stars sharp above. No clouds. No other cars. Jake's dad was driving, steady as always, his mum dozing in the front seat, her head resting against the window. Jake was in the back, earbuds in, music blotting out the hum of the engine. Everything was calm, normal, until the GPS broke the silence. "Turn right in 400 meters, it said, out of nowhere, in a robotic voice that felt off. Jake's dad glanced at the screen, his brow creasing. There was no right turn ahead, just a narrow shoulder and a dense wall of trees, their branches clawing at the moonlight. The voice wasn't the usual one either. It was colder, slower, like it was speaking directly to them, not just reading coordinates. They ignored it, kept driving, but the GPS didn't let up. Turn right, again and again, like it was stuck, demanding they listen. Then the car started acting strange. The dashboard lights flickered, dimming and flaring like they were alive. The speedometer needle dropped to 0, then spiked back up, twitching like a dying insect. The radio kicked on by itself, spitting static, a low hum weaving through it, almost like a whisper too faint to catch. Jake's mum jolted awake, her eyes wide, scanning the dashboard. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice tight with fear. Jake's dad didn't answer, his knuckles white on the wheel, his jaw clenched. They tried to laugh it off, maybe a glitch, maybe bad wiring, but the GPS kept barking, "Turn right!" And now the engine was stuttering, the car jerking like it was fighting to stay alive. Jake yanked out his earbuds, his music forgotten, his pulse racing. His dad muttered something sharp under his breath, a rare crack in his calm, and decided to pull over. They needed to stop, reset the GPS, check the engine, anything to make this madness stop. The moment they eased onto the shoulder, the headlights went out, not dimmed, out. Total blackness, the kind that presses against your eyes, thick and suffocating. No one spoke, no one breathed. Then they heard it, footsteps, slow, deliberate, crunching on the gravel outside the car, circling them, 1 step, 2, 3. Jake's mom grabbed his dad's arm, her nails digging in. Jake leaned forward, straining to see something, anything, but the windows were like black mirrors, reflecting nothing but their own terrified faces. The footsteps stopped. Silence, heavy and wrong, settled over them. Then, just as suddenly, the headlights snapped back on, flooding the road ahead. The GPS screen blinked, the map gone, replaced with a single word, unavailable. No signal, no bars, nothing. Jake's dad didn't wait. He slammed the car into gear and peeled out, the tires spitting gravel, his eyes locked on the road like he could will it to stay normal. For 20 agonizing minutes they drove in silence. The highway stretching on without a single sign, no mile markers, no other cars, just the endless ribbon of asphalt and the woods pressing in from both sides. Jake kept checking his phone. No signal, no data, just a blank screen. His mom was whispering now, her voice barely audible, asking if they'd taken a wrong turn, if they were lost. His dad didn't answer, just kept driving, his face pale in the dashboard's glow. Then, out of nowhere, Jake's dad pulled out his phone and tried a satellite call, something he later said shouldn't have worked in that dead zone. The call connected, a faint voice crackling through, and just like that, the GPS blinked back to life. The map reappeared, the route normal, the robotic voice gone. The radio settled into a soft hum, playing some old song like nothing had happened. A mile later, a sign appeared, pointing to a town they recognized. They weren't lost anymore. It was like the world had snapped back into place. Jake's voice shook as he told me this, like he was reliving every second. He said they made it home, but none of them slept that night. His dad kept checking the car, the GPS, the phone, looking for answers. His mom wouldn't talk about it, just kept pacing, her eyes darting to the windows. Jake swore he'd never trust a GPS again, not after that. But there was something else in his voice. Something he wasn't saying, something that made my skin crawl. He mentioned, almost as an afterthought, that sometimes, even now, the GPS in his car changes. The voice gets deeper, slower, like it knows him, like it's waiting for him to listen. I couldn't shake his story. It wasn't just the details, it was the way he told it, the way his words caught in his throat like he was holding back. I messaged him the next day, asking for more, pushing gently, investigator mode kicking in. What else happened, man? You said it was just you, your parents, and the car, but anything else stand out? He didn't reply right away. Hours passed, then a short text. I don't know if I should say, it's weird. That's when I knew this wasn't over. There was more, and I needed to hear it. Over the next few days, I kept nudging him, dropping casual messages, trying not to spook him. Jake started opening up, bit by bit, like he was testing the waters. He told me about the car, how his dad took it to a mechanic the day after, swearing something was wrong. The mechanic found nothing. No wiring issues, no engine problems, not even a glitch in the GPS. But Jake said his dad's been different since that night, quieter, always checking the rearview mirror, even when he's not driving. His mum, too. She's been avoiding the car altogether, taking the bus to work, something she's never done before. Then Jake dropped another detail, one that hit harder. He said he'd gone back to the highway a few days later, during the day, just to see if he could find that stretch of road. He drove the same route, mile by mile, looking for the spot where they'd pulled over. But here's the thing, he couldn't find it. No shoulder, no gravel patch, just smooth pavement and trees, like the place they'd stopped didn't exist. He said he felt stupid even telling me, but he swore the road looked different, too clean, too perfect, like it had been waiting for him to come back. I pressed him again, late one night, my curiosity burning. Jake, what aren't you telling me? There's something else, isn't there? This time he didn't dodge. His reply came fast, like he'd been waiting to let it out. Okay, man, but don't think I'm crazy. That night, when the headlights went out and we heard the footsteps, I saw something, just for a second, in the side mirror. My heart skipped. What was it? I typed back, my fingers shaking. His response took forever, each word landing, like a stone. It wasn't a person, it was taller, thinner, and it moved wrong, like it wasn't walking, but gliding. I only saw it for a split second before the lights came back on, but it was there. I stared at my phone, my mind racing. This was new, and it changed everything. Jake hadn't mentioned this before, not even in the audio. Why hold it back? Was he scared, embarrassed, or was there more he still wasn't saying? I needed to know, but I had to be careful. Pushed too hard and he might clam up, so I waited, let a day pass, then messaged again, keeping it light. Hey, man, that mirror thing. You ever see anything like that again? He didn't answer right away, but when he did, his words were careful, measured, not exactly. But sometimes, when I'm driving alone, I feel it, like something's watching, not from the road, but from inside the car. That's when I started digging deeper, not just with Jake, but on my own. I looked up the highway, scoured forums, old news articles, anything about that stretch of road. Most of what I found was mundane, traffic reports, construction updates, but there were whispers, buried in obscure threads, about drivers seeing things out there. Lights flickering, GPS units going haywire, even stories of cars stalling for no reason. Nothing solid, nothing I could pin down, but enough to make me wonder, was Jake's story a one-off, or was there something bigger going on? I went back to Jake, armed with questions. Have you driven that road again, or talked to your parents about it? He was slower to respond now, like he was weighing every word. I tried talking to my dad, he said. He shut me down, said it was just a bad night, told me to drop it, but I caught him looking at the GPS app on his phone like he was checking something. And my mom, she's been having nightmares. She won't say what about, but I hear her wake up at night, gasping. Then he added something that made my blood run cold. I didn't tell you this before, but a week after that night, I found something in the car, in the back seat, where I was sitting. It was a scratch, deep, like someone dragged a knife across. The leather, it wasn't there before. I know it wasn't. I could feel the weight of his words, the fear creeping through the screen. A scratch. From what? And why hadn't he noticed it that night? I wanted to ask, but I held back, letting him steer the conversation. Over the next week, Jake kept sharing more, each message peeling back another layer. He said he'd started noticing patterns. Little things, but they added up. The GPS in his car would sometimes recalculate routes for no reason, even on familiar roads. Once, it led him down a street that dead-ended at a gated lot, the voice saying, "You have arrived," even though he was nowhere near his destination. He'd stopped using it altogether, relying on paper maps, but even then, he felt uneasy. Like the car itself was different. He couldn't explain it, but he said it felt heavier, like there was an extra weight inside, something he couldn't see. I kept pushing, gently, trying to piece it together. What about the figure in the mirror? You ever tell anyone else? He hesitated, then admitted he'd mentioned it to a friend, who laughed it off, said it was just his imagination. But Jake wasn't convinced. I know what I saw, he told me, and I keep seeing it in my head every time I close my eyes. It wasn't human, man. It wasn't. His words hung there, raw and heavy, and I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to believe he'd imagined it, that stress and fear had twisted his memory. But another part, the part that kept me up at night, replaying his audio, knew there was more to this. I started tracking the details, writing them down, looking for connections. The footsteps, the figure, the scratch, the GPS, all of it felt linked, but how? I messaged Jake again, asking if he'd gone back to the highway since that daytime trip. Yeah, he said, his words clipped. Once, at night. I don't know why I did it. I just needed to know. My heart sank. What happened? I asked, dreading the answer. He took a long time to reply, and when he did, his message was short but chilling. The road was there, but it felt wrong, like it was watching me. And when I stopped to turn around, the headlights caught something in the trees. She's not animal eyes. They were too high up, too still. I didn't wait to see more. I couldn't let it go. I kept digging, scouring the internet for anything that matched Jake's story. I found a blog post, buried deep in a forum, about a trucker who'd driven that highway years ago. He'd written about a night when his GPS failed, his truck stalling on the same stretch. He'd heard footsteps too, circling his cab, and seen something in his mirrors, a shape that moved too fast, too wrong. He never drove that route again. The post was old, the account inactive, but it was enough to make me wonder, was this a pattern? Were others out there too scared to talk, carrying stories like Jake's? I went back to Jake, my questions sharper now. Have you noticed anything else? Anything in the car, the house, anywhere? He didn't answer for 2 days, and when he did, his message was longer, more frantic. I didn't want to say this, but I keep hearing things. At night, when I'm alone, not voices, but sounds, like someone's walking outside my room. But when I check, there's nothing. And my phone, it's been acting up. Apps opening on their own. The GPS app especially. Last night, it turned on by itself, said, "Turn right," even though I was in bed. My mind was spinning. This wasn't just about the highway anymore. Whatever had happened that night, it hadn't stayed on the road. It was following Jake, creeping into his life, piece by piece. I asked him to send me a picture of the scratch in the car, something tangible I could analyze. He did, and when I opened the image, my breath caught. It wasn't just a scratch, it was precise, almost deliberate, like a symbol carved into the leather. Too clean to be random, too deep to be accidental. I didn't tell Jake what I thought, not yet. I needed more. Days turned into weeks, and Jake's messages grew sporadic, but each one carried a new weight. He said his dad had started driving a different car, refusing to touch the one from that night. His mom was seeing a therapist now, though she wouldn't say why. Jake himself was sleeping less, jumping at shadows, avoiding the highway altogether, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was still there, lingering, waiting. He told me about a dream he'd had, a figure standing at the edge of the road, its eyes glowing in the headlights, its body too tall, too thin, reaching out as the car sped by. He woke up screaming, his phone open to the GPS app, the screen frozen on a map of that highway. I kept investigating, piecing together what I could. I found another story, this one in a local paper's archive, about a missing driver on that same stretch of road years back. The car was found, empty on the shoulder, no signs of a struggle, no trace of the driver. The article mentioned a detail that made my skin crawl. The GPS in the car was on, looping the same instruction over and over. Turn right. The police wrote it off as a glitch, but I couldn't. Not after Jake's story, not after the trucker's post, not after the scratch. I messaged Jake again, asking if he'd ever looked into the history of the highway. "No," he said, "but I'm starting to think I should. I'm scared, man. I don't know what's happening, but it's not stopping. It's getting worse." His words hit hard, and I knew I had to keep pushing for him and for me. I needed answers, and so did he. But every step deeper into this felt like stepping into the dark. The kind of dark where you hear footsteps circling, where you feel eyes on you, where the road ahead stretches on forever, and you're not sure you'll ever find your way back. Jake's latest message came last night, and it's been looping in my head ever since. "I went back to the car," he said. "I hadn't touched it in weeks, but I had to check something. The scratch, it's different now, it's deeper, and there's another one next to it like it's growing. And when I started the engine, the GPS turned on by itself. It didn't say anything, but the screen showed a route. Not to my house, not to anywhere I know, just a line stretching out into the woods where there's no road. I turned it off, but I swear for a second I heard it, the voice. It said, my name. I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what to do, but I can't stop now. There's something out there, something tied to that highway, to that car, to Jake. And the more I dig, the more I feel it watching, waiting, drawing us both deeper into whatever this is. I'll keep talking to Jake, keep asking questions, keep searching for answers. Because if I don't, I'm afraid of what might happen next. And I'm afraid that whatever's out there already knows we're looking. I'm staring at my phone, the screen glowing in the dark of my apartment, and it's been 6 days since Jake's last message. 6 days since he mentioned that glove box, since he went silent like he dropped off the face of the earth. I keep refreshing Instagram, hoping for a sign, but there's nothing, just that last text hanging there. I'll tell you later. Like a promise he couldn't keep. The audio he sent, that shaky voice laying out what happened on that highway, it's burned into my head. I can't stop listening to it, can't stop hearing that hum, that whisper buried in the static. I've been working on it, running it, through every audio tool I can find, and I'm closer now. The voice is clearer, and it's saying something, 2 words over and over like a chant. I'm not sure what they are yet, but they feel personal, like they're meant for someone specific. Maybe Jake, maybe me. I messaged him again last night, kept it short, just a quick, "Hey man, you good? Worried about you." I didn't mention the glove box this time, didn't want to push too hard, but I'm kicking myself for it now. What if he's waiting for me to ask? What if he's stuck, scared, needing someone to pull the truth out of him? Or worse, what if he can't answer? I've been digging deeper, spending hours online, chasing every lead I can find about that highway. It's like peeling back layers of a story no one wants to tell. There's this one forum post I found, tucked away in a corner of the internet, from a guy who drove that road 5 years ago. He said his GPS took him to a dead end, a dirt path that wasn't on any map. He stopped, figured he'd turn around, but then he heard it. Footsteps circling his car, slow and steady, just like Jake described. He said he floored it, didn't look back, but for weeks after, his GPS would turn on by itself, always trying to route him back to that spot. He deleted the app, got a new phone, but it didn't stop. He didn't say what happened after that. The post just ends. Then there's the glove box thing. I can't let it go. That news report I found, the one about the abandoned car from 10 years ago, keeps nagging at me. The phone left behind, screen cracked, GPS app open. What if Jake found something like that? A phone, a note, something that doesn't belong? I've been searching for more on that car, but it's like the story was buried. No follow-ups, no missing persons reports, just that one article and a handful of comments from locals who seem to know more than they're saying. One of them mentioned a pattern, said every few years someone goes missing on that road, always at night, always with a glitchy GPS. They didn't elaborate, and the thread died out, but it's enough to make me wonder, is Jake part of that pattern? Am I? I'm not sleeping much anymore. Every time I try, I hear those footsteps in my head, crunching on gravel, circling closer. Last night, I had a dream, or at least I think it was a dream. I was in my car, driving that highway, the one Jake talked about. The road was empty, the headlights barely cutting through the dark. My GPS was on, but the screen was blank, just a blinking dot where I was supposed to be. Then the voice kicked in, not the usual robotic one, but something else. Slow, heavy, like it was coming from inside the car. It said, "Turn right." I woke up sweating, my phone on the pillow next to me, the GPS app open. I know I didn't open it. I deleted it days ago, but there it was, showing my location right here in my apartment. I uninstalled it again, but I'm starting to think it doesn't matter. Whatever this is, it's not just in the app. I've been talking to my sound guy friend again, the one who looked at Jake's audio. He's as freaked out as I am now. He spent yesterday cleaning up the file, boosting the whisper, and he thinks he's got it. 2 words, keep driving. That's what it's saying over and over, buried in the hum. He played it for me over the phone, and I felt my stomach drop. It's not just the words, it's the way they're said, like a warning or maybe a command. I asked him to keep working on it, see if there's anything else, but he's hesitant. Said the file feels wrong, like it's messing with his equipment. He's not the superstitious type, but I could hear it in his voice. He's scared. I don't blame him. I'm scared too. This morning, I did something I've been avoiding. I looked up Jake's Instagram profile, scrolled through his posts looking for clues. Most of it's normal, pictures of his dog, some hiking trips, a couple of memes, but there's one post from a week before he sent me the audio that stands out. It's a photo of his car, parked at a gas station, captioned, "Ready for the road trip." The picture's blurry, taken at night, but there's something in the background, just past the car. It's faint, almost like a shadow, but it's shaped like a person, standing at the edge of the lot. I zoomed in, and my heart skipped a beat. There's no face, no clear details, but it's there, watching. Jake never mentioned anyone at the gas station. Did he even notice it? I've been thinking about his parents too, the way they're acting like nothing happened, like it was just a weird night. I wonder if they're hiding something, if they saw more than Jake did. Maybe they heard the whisper too, or maybe they know what was circling the car. I wish I could talk to them, but without Jake, I'm stuck. All I have is his story, the audio, and a growing pile of questions. I keep coming back to the glove box. What did he find? Why hasn't he told me? I'm starting to think it's not just about what he found, but what it means. What if it's a message, a warning, something left behind by whoever or whatever was in that abandoned car? I've been mapping out the highway using the coordinates from my GPS glitch, the ones that showed up uninvited. They point to a specific spot, a stretch of road with nothing around it, no exits, no rest stops, just trees and darkness. I found a satellite image online, and it's off. The road looks normal, but there's a patch right where the coordinates are that's blurry, like the image was smudged. I checked other maps, older ones, and it's the same. Always that one spot, always distorted. I don't know what it means, but it's not a coincidence. Nothing about this feels like a coincidence anymore. I'm going to try Jake again tonight. I'm sending a voice message telling him I'm worried, that I need to know he's okay. I'll ask about the glove box, but I'll be careful. Keep it light. If he doesn't answer, I'm out of options. I've thought about driving out there, to that highway, to see it for myself. Not because I want to, but because I feel like I have to. Like the road's pulling me, the same way it pulled Jake. I know it's crazy, but sitting here doing nothing feels crazier. I need answers, and if Jake won't give them to me, maybe the road will. The audio's still on my laptop, and I'm running it through another program now, one that's supposed to isolate voices. The whisper's getting clearer, and I'm almost sure it's saying more than keep driving. There's another layer, another voice, fainter, like it's coming from farther away. I can't make it out yet, but it's there, and it's not alone. The hum, the pulse, it's all part of it, like a signal broadcasting from somewhere I can't see. I'm not sure I want to hear the rest, but I can't stop now. I'm too deep. And whatever's out there, whatever's in that audio, it's not letting go. I keep thinking about Jake's voice, the way it shook when he talked about the footsteps, the way he said the GPS knew him. What if it does? What if it's not just a glitch, not just tech gone wrong, but something else, something that's been waiting on that highway for years, maybe forever? I know it sounds like I'm losing it, but after everything, the posts, the audio, the GPS on my phone, I can't pretend this is normal. There's something out there, and it's not just following Jake. It's following me too. I can feel it every time I close my eyes, every time my phone lights up with that app I didn't open. It's watching, waiting, and I don't know how much time I have before it decides to step out of the dark. It's been a week now, and Jake's still a ghost. No messages, no stories, no sign he's even seen my texts. I'm sitting here, my laptop humming, the audio file from his voice message looping through another round of processing. That whisper, "Keep driving." It's louder now, sharp enough to cut through the static. But there's something else behind it. A second voice, fainter, like it's calling from a distance. I can't make out the words yet, but it's there, weaving through the pulse of that unnatural hum. Every time I listen, my chest tightens like I'm hearing something I'm not supposed to. I've got my phone on silent, but it doesn't help. Last night, it lit up again. The GPS app back like an unwanted guest, showing those same coordinates on that highway. I didn't touch it, didn't open it, but there it was, plotting a route from my apartment to that blurry spot on the map, the one that doesn't look right in satellite images. I deleted it again, but I'm starting to think it's not about the app, it's about the road. I've been digging deeper, probably too deep, chasing every scrap of information I can find. That highway's got a history, the kind that doesn't make it into travel guides. I found another forum post, this one from a trucker who drove that stretch 2 years ago. He said his GPS went haywire, same as Jake's, telling him to turn where there was no turn. He ignored it, kept going, but then his CB radio started picking up chatter. Voices, not truckers, not anyone he knew. They were whispering, he said, talking about him, saying his name, describing his truck. He turned the radio off, but the voices kept going, coming through the speakers like they were inside the cab. He didn't stop, didn't pull over, just floored it until he hit the next town. He hasn't driven that road since. The post had a few replies, people calling him crazy, but one user, anonymous, said they'd heard the same thing, said it wasn't the radio, said it was the road itself talking. I keep thinking about Jake's glove box, what he found, why he won't tell me. I've been searching for anything that might connect. The abandoned car from that old news report, the phone left behind, the GPS still running. I found a blog, some amateur historian's pet project that mentions a string of incidents on that highway going back decades. Not just disappearances, but weird stuff. Cars found with their lights on but no one inside. Personal items left behind like they were dropped in a hurry. Even a story about a hitchhiker who vanished mid-ride, leaving nothing but a map in the passenger seat. The blog's author thinks it's all connected, some kind of anomaly tied to the land itself. They mentioned a spot, a specific mile marker where things go wrong most often. I cross-checked it with the coordinates from my GPS glitch. It's the same place, right where Jake's car stopped, right where the footsteps started. I'm not sure what to do with this. Part of me wants to believe it's all coincidence, bad wiring, overactive imaginations. But then I play Jake's audio again, and I hear that whisper, that second voice. And I know it's not just in my head. I messaged my sound guy friend this morning, asked if he'd made any progress. He's rattled, said the audio's starting to mess with him. He was working on it last night, and his computer crashed, hard. Drive fried, files gone, except for Jake's audio. It was still there, untouched, like it wanted to be found. He said the second voice is clearer now, and he thinks it's saying a name. Not Jake's, not mine, but a name he doesn't recognize. He won't tell me what it is. Said he's done. Doesn't want to touch it anymore. I can't blame him, but I'm not letting it go. I need to know. I've been thinking about Jake's parents again, how they're acting like nothing happened. I wonder if they're hearing things too, if their GPS is acting up, if they're getting those same coordinates. I wish I could reach them. But without Jake, I'm flying blind. I've been scrolling through his Instagram, looking for anything I missed. That photo of his car, the one with the shadow in the background, it's haunting me. I showed it to a friend who's into photography, asked if it could be a glitch, a trick of the light. She said it's not. The shadow's too solid, too defined, like it's standing there watching. She zoomed in, enhanced it, and there's something else, faint but clear enough to make my skin crawl. The shadow's holding something, maybe a phone, maybe a map, pointed at the car. Jake never mentioned anyone at that gas station. Did he even see it? I'm starting to notice things in my own life, little things that don't add up. Yesterday, I was driving to the store and my radio cut out, replaced by static, not normal. Static, but that same rhythmic pulse from Jake's audio, like a heartbeat. It lasted maybe 10 seconds, then the music came back, but I was shaking so bad I had to pull over. When I checked my phone, the GPS app was open again, showing that dim spot on the highway. I'm not imagining this. I can't be. I've started keeping a notebook, writing down everything. Timestamps from the audio, forum posts, the coordinates, even my dreams. They're getting worse, more vivid. Last night I was back on that highway, but I wasn't alone. There was something in the passenger seat, not a person, not exactly, but a shape, blurry, like the shadow in Jake's photo. It didn't speak, didn't move, but I could feel it watching me, waiting for me to turn right. I'm going to try Jake one last time tonight. I'm recording a voice message, telling him I'm scared for him, that I know something's wrong. I'll ask about the glove box, about the shadow, about everything. I'm done playing it safe. If he doesn't answer, I'm out of moves. I've thought about calling the cops, but what would I say? My online friends not texting back and I think a highway's haunted. They'd think I'm nuts. I've thought about driving out there too, to that mile marker, to see what's waiting. I don't want to, but it's like the road's calling me, like it knows I'm getting close. I keep my keys on the table, and every time I walk by, I feel this pull, like they're heavier than they should be. The audio's still running, and I'm close to cracking it. The second voice, the one saying a name, it's almost clear now. I've got a new program, something a tech friend recommended, and it's pulling the layers apart. The name's not random. It's old, like something you'd find in a history book tied to that highway, maybe to the land itself. I found a reference in another blog, a story about a settler who disappeared in the 1800s, right where the highway runs now. They were never found, but their journal was. Pages filled with sketches of a road that didn't exist, directions to a place no one could find. The name matches. I don't know what it means, but it's too much to be chance. I keep thinking about Jake, what he's not telling me, what he's found. The glove box, what's in it? A phone like the one from the abandoned car, a map like the hitchhikers, or something worse, something that explains why he's gone quiet. I'm starting to think he's not just scared, he's caught, trapped in whatever this is. I can feel it too, closing in. My phone's been buzzing with notifications, not just the GPS app, but texts from unknown numbers, blank messages, just static when I try to call back. Last night, I heard footsteps outside my apartment, slow, deliberate, like they were pacing the hallway. I didn't open the door. I couldn't. I've been mapping the highway, plotting every incident I can find. The abandoned car, the trucker's story, the hitchhiker, Jake's night. They all cluster around that mile marker, that blurry spot on the map. I found an old survey map, pre-highway, and there's something there, a mark, like a warning. It's not a town, not a landmark, just a symbol, something the surveyor didn't explain. I'm trying to find more, but the deeper I go, the more it feels like I'm being watched. Not just by the road, but by something older, something that's been waiting for someone to notice. I don't know if I'm ready for what's next, but I can't stop now. Jake's out there, and whatever's on that highway, it's not done. It's calling, and I'm starting to think I'm the one it wants to answer. It's been 10 days since Jake's last message, and I'm starting to lose track of time, my days blurring into late-night research sessions and endless loops of that audio. My apartment's a mess, notebooks strewn across the table, scribbled with coordinates, timestamps, and half-formed theories about that highway. The whisper in Jake's audio is crystal clear now. Keep driving. But the second voice, the one saying a name, it's still just out of reach, like a word on the tip of my tongue. I've got a new program running, something a tech friend swore would pull it apart, but it's slow, and every time it processes, I feel this dread, like I'm about to uncover something I can't unlearn. My phone's been quiet, no word from Jake, but last night something changed. He finally replied. Not a voice message, not a call, just a single text. I'm okay, just need time. It was enough to keep me going, but not enough to ease the knot in my stomach. He's alive, but he's not fine. I can feel it. I sent him a voice message right after, trying to sound calm, like I wasn't up at 3 a.m. listening to his audio for the 100th time. Hey man, I'm glad you're okay. I've been worried sick. You don't have to talk if you're not ready, but I'm here, all right? Whatever happened out there, you don't have to carry it alone. I didn't mention the glove box, didn't ask about the shadow in his photo or the footsteps. I wanted him to feel safe, to know I'm not pushing, even though every part of me is screaming for answers. He didn't reply, but this morning I woke up to another text. Thanks, it's hard to explain. I'll try soon. It's a start, but there's a shakiness in his words, even through text, like he's still hearing those footsteps, still seeing that blank GPS screen. I've been digging deeper into the highway, trying to piece together what happened to him, to help him make sense of it. That mile marker, the one where everything went wrong, it's like a black hole pulling in every story I find. I stumbled across a podcast episode, some low-budget true crime show, talking about unexplained incidents in the area. They mentioned that stretch of road, called it the Quiet Mile, because radios cut out, phones lose signal, and sometimes cars just stop. One story stuck with me. A woman in the 90s driving alone said her car died at that exact mile marker. She heard footsteps circling and saw a shadow just beyond her headlights, holding something, maybe a phone, maybe a map. She locked the doors, waited till dawn, and when her car started again, she never looked back. The podcast host laughed it off, called it a ghost story, but I'm not laughing. It's too close to Jake's story. too close to that shadow in his photo. I've been cross-referencing everything. The abandoned car from the news report, the trucker's CB radio voices, the settler's journal with its sketches of a road that shouldn't exist. There's a pattern, and it's not random. Every incident ties back to that mile marker, to glitches in tech, to footsteps in the dark. I found an old topographic map, digitized by some history nerd, and there's a mark. At that spot, not a symbol, but a word, uncertain. No explanation, just that word, like the surveyor knew something was off, but couldn't name it. I keep thinking about Jake, what he saw, what he's not saying. He's traumatized, I get that, but it's more than fear. It's like he's caught in something, like the road still holding on to him. I messaged him again this afternoon, keeping it light, but nudging a little. Hey man, been thinking about you. If you're up for it, maybe tell me a little more. Just whatever you're comfortable with. I'm trying to figure this out for you. I didn't expect a reply, but an hour later, my phone buzzed. It was a voice message, short, his voice low, like he was afraid someone might hear. I don't know where to start, he said. It's not just that night, it's after. I keep hearing it, the GPS voice, but it's not the app. It's in my head, saying my name, telling me to go back. And man, if you're still watching, tell me this. If a GPS started calling your name in the middle of the night, would you follow it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm seriously curious what you'd do in Jake's place. And if this story's got you hooked, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, there's more coming, and it gets even darker. I haven't told my parents. They're acting weird too, like they're scared to drive at night now. He paused, and I could hear his breathing, uneven, like he was fighting to keep it together. The glove box. I found a map, not ours. It's old, handwritten, with a route marked to that spot. I don't know how it got there. Then the message. Cut off like he couldn't say more. A map. My heart's still racing from that. A handwritten map pointing to that mile marker in a car that's not supposed to have it. I'm thinking about the hitchhiker from the blog, the one who left a map behind, about the settler's journal, about every story that mentions directions to nowhere. I replied to Jake, trying to keep my voice steady. That's huge, man. That map, it's a clue. You don't have to face this alone, okay? Can you tell me more about it? What does it look like? Anything written on it? I'm trying to help him process, to pull him out of that fear, but I'm terrified too. What if the map's not just a map? What if it's a trap, a lure, something left to draw him back? I've been working on the audio non-stop, and the second voice is clearer now. It's a name, all right, and it matches the settler from the blog, Elijah Ward. He vanished in the 1800s, left behind that journal with its frantic sketches. The voice saying his name, it's not just repeating, it's pleading, like it's trapped, like it's reaching out. I don't know what it means, but it's connected to Jake, to the map, to that highway. I sent the cleaned up audio to my sound guy friend, but he's done. Said he's been having nightmares about footsteps outside his window. I can't push him anymore, but I'm not stopping. I need to know what Elijah's name is doing in Jake's audio, why it's calling out. Jake's parents are another piece of the puzzle. He said they're acting weird, avoiding night drives, but he hasn't pressed them. I wonder if they saw something he didn't, if they're keeping quiet to protect him. I told Jake to talk to them, gently, maybe ask if they've noticed anything strange since that night. Don't push too hard, I said, but maybe they're as scared as you are. Could help to share it. I'm hoping it opens something up, gets him talking more, but I'm also worried. What if they know more than he thinks? What if they're hearing the GPS voice too? I've been mapping out the highway incidents, pinning them to a timeline. The abandoned car in 2010, the woman in the 90s, the trucker 2 years ago, Jake's night. They're not random. They're spaced out, years apart, but always at that mile marker, always with the same signs. Tech glitches, footsteps, shadows. I found a Reddit thread buried in a paranormal sub where someone claimed to have driven that road last year. There, GPS froze, showed location unavailable, and they heard footsteps circling. But what got me was their description of a smell. Ozone. like after a lightning strike. Jake never mentioned a smell, but I'm starting to wonder if he missed it, if he was too freaked out to notice. I asked him in my last message, "Did you smell anything weird that night? Like electricity, maybe?" I'm waiting for his reply, hoping it's another piece to work with. My phone's acting up again. The GPS app keeps reinstalling itself, always open to those coordinates. Last night, I got a notification, not from the app, but from my phone's system saying route recalculated. I wasn't even driving. I live in a 5th-floor apartment, no car nearby, but the screen showed that mile marker, like it's tracking me, like it knows I'm digging. I've started turning my phone off at night, but it doesn't help. This morning it was on, the battery drained, the GPS app running. I'm not crazy. I'm not imagining this. I keep hearing Jake's voice, the way he said the GPS knows his name, and I'm starting to think it knows mine too. I've been dreaming about the highway again every night now. It's always the same. I'm driving, the road stretching out, the headlights flickering. The GPS voice isn't robotic anymore. It's Elijah Ward's, slow, heavy, saying, "Turn right." There's something in the rearview mirror, not a face, but a shape, holding a map, pointing. I wake up gasping, my keys in my hand like I was about to leave. I haven't driven in days, but the pull's getting stronger, like the road's waiting for me to make a mistake, to follow the route. I'm fighting it, but it's hard when every clue points back to that mile marker. When Jake's voice messages sound more broken every time. He sent another one this morning, longer, his voice barely above a whisper. I looked at the map again. He said, "It's not just a route. There's a name written on it in the corner like a signature, Elijah Ward. I don't know who that is, but it's freaking me out." I showed it to my dad, and he got pale, said to throw it out, but I can't. It's like, "It's mine now." He stopped, and I could hear him swallowing hard like he was choking on the words. I keep dreaming about that night, about the footsteps. They're not outside the car anymore. They're inside, behind me, like something's sitting there. He cut off again, and I haven't heard back since. I'm trying to stay calm for him, to help him through this, but I'm terrified. Elijah Ward's name on a map in Jake's car. It's not a coincidence. It's a message, I replied, telling him to hold on, to breathe, to talk to me when he's ready. "You're not alone in this," I said. "That name, Elijah, it's a lead. I'm looking into it, and we'll figure it out together. Don't let it pull you under, okay?" I'm trying to keep him grounded, to give him something to hold on to, but it's hard when I'm slipping too. I've been reading more about Elijah Ward, digging through old records online. He wasn't just a settler, he was a surveyor mapping the area before the highway was built. His journal, the one mentioned in the blog, it's not just sketches. There are entries about a presence, something he felt watching him, guiding his pen to mark a spot he didn't understand. That spot. It's the mile marker. He disappeared after his last entry, leaving the journal behind, and now his name's in Jake's audio, on Jake's map. What the hell is this? I'm starting to think the highway's not just a road, it's a trap. A loop, something that catches people and doesn't let go. Jake's caught, and I'm getting tangled too. My phone buzzed an hour ago. Another blank. Text from an unknown number, but this time there was an attachment. A photo, grainy, dark, but unmistakable. It's Jake's car parked on the side of that highway, the headlights on, the driver's door open. No one's in it. I don't know who sent it, how they got my number, but it's recent, taken at night, and there's a shadow in the background holding something, just like the gas station photo. I forwarded it to Jake, asked if it's his, if he's been back. There. No reply yet, but I'm scared he's closer to that road than he's letting on. I'm not giving up on him. I'm going to keep messaging, keep digging, keep listening to that audio until I crack it. Jake's terrified, but he's talking, a little at a time. And I'm going to be there, pulling him through, helping him face whatever this is. The highway, Elijah Ward, the map, the footsteps, they're all connected, and I'm close to something. I can feel it. But every step I take, I hear that whisper in my head, "Keep driving." And I wonder if I'm helping Jake or just driving us both towards something we can't escape. I don't know what's waiting at that mile marker, but it's watching, and it's patient, and I'm starting to think it's been waiting for me all along. It's been 2 weeks since Jake's last voice message, and I'm running on fumes. My eyes burning from staring at screens, my notebooks a chaotic sprawl of theories about that highway. The audio from Jake's message is still on my laptop. The whisper, "Keep driving," looping in my head like a bad song. But the second voice, the one saying Elijah Ward's name, is clearer now, desperate, like it's begging for something. I've been messaging Jake every day, trying to keep him talking, to help him unpack the terror of that night. And he's been opening up bit by bit, his voice raw, like he's reliving it every time he speaks. He's scared, I'm scared, but we're in this together, chasing answers we're not sure we want. My phone's been acting up less. The GPS app hasn't reinstalled itself in a couple of days, but I'm not fooled. That highway, that mile marker, it's still out there, and I can feel it watching, waiting for us to make a move. Jake sent a longer voice message yesterday, his voice shaky but determined, like he's finally ready to face what happened. "I didn't tell you everything about that night," he said, and I could hear him pacing, the floor creaking under his feet. "After the GPS went crazy and we heard the footsteps, we didn't just drive away. We were lost, man. The road signs were gone. The map was blank and we just kept driving. No direction, no idea where we were going. It was like the highway was stretching, like it wouldn't let us out." He paused, his breathing heavy. My mom was whispering prayers, my dad's knuckles were white on the wheel, and I kept looking out the window, expecting to see something, someone following us. There was this moment, maybe 10 minutes in, where the air got heavy, like a storm was coming, and I smelled something. Ozone, like lightning, but sharper. Then the GPS spoke again, not the usual voice, but that deep one, saying, "You're here, but we weren't anywhere. Just road, trees, darkness." He stopped, and I could hear him swallow hard. That's when I looked in the rearview mirror and saw it, a shape in the back seat, holding something. I screamed, my dad swerved, and then it was gone, like it was never there. But I know what I saw. I sat there gripping my phone, my heart pounding. A shape in the car, the same as my dreams, the same as that shadow in his gas station photo. I messaged him back, trying to sound steady. "That's intense, man. You're doing great getting this out. That shape, what did it look like? Anything like the map you found?" I'm trying to help him process, to piece it together, but every detail he shares pulls me deeper into this nightmare. He replied a few hours later, another voice message, quieter this time. It was blurry, like it wasn't fully there, but it was human-shaped, leaning forward like it was watching me. It was holding something flat, maybe the map, maybe a phone. I don't know. The map in the glove box, it's still here, and I keep looking at it, trying to understand. Elijah Ward's name is on it, and there's a sketch too, a circle with lines, like a compass, pointing to that spot on the highway. I think it's where we stopped, where the footsteps were. His voice cracked. I'm scared to touch it, but I can't throw it out. It's like it's part of me now. That map, it's the key, I'm sure of it. I've been digging into Elijah Ward, spending hours on obscure history sites, piecing together his story. He was a surveyor, mapping the wilderness where the highway runs now, but his journal, the one I found mentioned in that blog, it's more than sketches and notes. He wrote about a guide, something that led him to that spot, a voice in his head, telling him to mark it, to draw it. His last entry is frantic, talking about footsteps following him, about a shadow that wasn't his. He vanished after that, leaving the journal behind, and now his name's on Jake's map, in Jake's audio, like he's still there, stuck in that mile marker. I told Jake about Elijah, kept it simple, said he was a guy from the 1800s who got lost in the area, that his name might be a clue. Maybe the map's tied to him, I said. Can you send me a picture of it? Might help us figure this out. I'm trying to keep him engaged, to give him a purpose, but I'm terrified of what that map might show. I've been mapping every incident I can find, pinning them to that mile marker. The abandoned car in 2010, the woman in the 90s, the trucker's CB voices, Jake's night. They all share the same signs: tech glitches, footsteps, ozone smells, shadows. I found another story, a comment on an old forum from a guy who camped near the highway in 2005. He said his GPS led him to that mile marker, then died, and at night he heard footsteps circling his tent, smelled ozone, saw a shadow holding something outside. He packed up at dawn, never went back, but his GPS kept turning on, always pointing to that spot. It's the same pattern over and over, like the roads collecting stories or people. I asked Jake if he's noticed anything else since that night, anything small, like smells or sounds. He said his car's been acting weird, radio cutting out, dashboard lights flickering, always at night. And the smell, he said in his last message, that ozone thing, I've smelled it in my room like it's following me. I'm trying to help him cope, to make sense of it, but it's hard when I'm barely holding it together. My dreams are worse now. Always the highway, always that shape in the passenger seat, holding a map, pointing. Last night, I woke up to my phone vibrating, the GPS app open, showing a route to the mile marker. I didn't touch it, didn't even unlock the phone, but there it was, the voice saying, "You're here." I turned it off, unplugged it, but this morning it was on again, battery drained, the app still running. I've started hearing things too, footsteps, faint, like they're outside my window, pacing. I don't look, I can't, but I keep digging. For Jake, for me, because if we don't understand this, it's never going to stop. Jake's been talking more, and I'm grateful, but every message feels heavier. This morning he sent a long one, his voice barely holding together. I talked to my parents, he said. They finally opened up. They saw it too that night, the shape in the back seat. My mum said it was holding a map, like it was showing us where to go. My dad heard the GPS voice, not just saying to turn, but saying his name like it knew him. They're scared, man. They don't drive anymore, not at night. They think it's over, but I don't. I keep dreaming about the road, about driving back, like I have to finish something. He paused, and I could hear him flipping through pages. Maybe the map. I looked at the sketch again, the compass thing. It's not a compass, it's a spiral circling that spot, like it's pulling everything in. I think that's where we were, where the footsteps were, where it's waiting. He stopped, and the message ended with a faint hum like the one in his audio, like it's still there, listening. I replied, telling him he's not alone, that we're close to something, even if it's scary. That spiral, it's a clue, I said. Maybe it's tied to Elijah, to whatever he found. Send me that picture of the map, and we'll figure it out together. I'm trying to keep him focused, to pull him out of the fear, but I'm running out of ideas. I've been researching spirals, symbols, anything that might explain it. I found an academic paper, some anthropology thing about ancient sites in the area, pre-settler, where spirals were carved into rocks, marking places of transition, whatever that means. The paper mentioned one site, lost now, near where the highway runs. It's a stretch, but it's close to that mile marker, close enough to make me wonder, was Elijah drawn to it? Is that what's pulling Jake, pulling me? I've been pushing the audio too, trying to crack the last layer. The Elijah voice is clear now, saying his name, but there's something else. A third sound, not a voice, but a rhythm, like footsteps, syncing with the hum. I sent it to a new sound guy, since my friend bailed, and he said it's not just audio, it's a signal, like something broadcasting, not recorded. He thinks it's coming from that spot, that mile marker, like a beacon. I don't know what to do with that, but it's got me thinking about the photo I got, the one of Jake's car, empty on the highway. I showed it to Jake, and he confirmed. It's his, but he swears he hasn't been back. That's recent, he said, his voice trembling. Look at the license plate, it's got the new sticker. I don't know who took that. I checked the photo again, and he's right. The stickers from this year. Someone or something was there, watching his car, sending me the proof. We've been going back and forth, piecing it together, but it's like chasing shadows. Jake sent me a picture of the map last night, and it's chilling. It's old, yellowed. The ink faded but clear. A route to the mile marker, a spiral in the center, Elijah Ward's name scrawled in the corner. There's something else too, tiny marks along the spiral, like tallies, dozens of them. I counted 47, and my stomach twisted. Are they people? Incidents? I showed it to a history buff friend who said it looks like a surveyor's map, but the spiral's not standard. It's ritualistic, like something meant to bind or summon. I told Jake, kept it gentle, said it's a lead, but he's spiraling too. I can't stop thinking about it, he said in his last message. The map, the footsteps, the voice, it's like it wants me back. I'm scared I'll go, like I won't have a choice. I've been thinking about driving out there, to the mile marker, to see it for myself, not to confront it, but to understand, to end this. I told Jake my plan, asked if he'd come, but he shut it down. Don't, he said, his voice sharp. You don't get it. It's not just a place. It's alive, man. It knows us. If you go, it'll take you too. I backed off, but I'm not sure he's wrong. My dreams are relentless now. The highway, the spiral, Elijah's voice, the shape beside me, always pointing. Last night, I woke up with my car keys in my hand, my shoes on, like I was halfway out the door. I haven't slept since. We kept digging, Jake and I, sharing everything we found. He talked to his parents again, and they admitted they'd been dreaming too, about the road, the shape, the map. His dad said he burned the map once, but it was back in the glove box the next day, untouched. I found one last lead, a retired park ranger who worked near the highway in the 80s. I tracked him down, called him, and he didn't want to talk, but I pushed. He said that mile markers always been trouble, that rangers avoided it, that they'd find cars there empty with maps or phones left behind. It's not a ghost, he said. It's something older, something that doesn't like being seen. He hung up, and when I tried calling back, the number was disconnected. Jake and I talked last night, a long call, both of us frayed, trying to make sense of it. He told me more about that night, how the ozone smell lingered in the car for days, how he found scratches on the doors, faint, like something had circled them. I think it let us go, he said, but it's not done. It's waiting for me to come back, to finish the route. I told him everything. The ranger, the spiral, Elijah's journal, the tallies. We sat there silent, the weight of it crushing us. What if we never understand, he said. What if it's just there and we can't do anything? I didn't have an answer, but for the first time I felt it too. The urge to stop, to walk away, to let the road keep its secrets. Then something shifted. This morning, my phone was quiet. No GPS notifications, no blank texts, no footsteps outside. The audio, when I played it, was just Jake's voice. No hum, no whisper, no Elijah. I checked the map photo Jake sent, and the spiral was gone, just a blank spot where it used to be. Jake messaged me, said his car's normal. The ozone smells gone. The map's still there, but feels empty, like it's just paper now. His parents are driving again, acting like it never happened. We talked, and it was different, lighter but heavy with something else. Relief maybe, but also defeat. I think it's over, he said, but I don't know why. Maybe it got what it wanted, or maybe it's just waiting for someone else. I agreed, but I couldn't shake the feeling that we'd been let go, like fish cut from a net. We decided to stop. No more digging, no more messages, no more chasing shadows. It's too much, too strange, too terrifying. Jake's trying to move on, spending time with his dog, avoiding night drives. I deleted the audio, trashed my notes, but I kept one thing, the photo of the map, just in case. We don't understand what happened, not really. Elijah Ward, the spiral, the footsteps, the shape. It's all a puzzle with missing pieces, and we're not sure we want to find them. The highway's still out there, that mile marker waiting, but for now, it's quiet, and we're leaving it that way. Some stories don't get answers, and maybe that's okay. Maybe it's enough to walk, a way to live, to keep driving past the dark. If you're still here, you felt it too, didn't you? That weight, That cold, silent presence behind the story, the next video. It's not a continuation, but it might explain why this keeps happening. Don't brush this off. Don't pretend it's just fiction. Click it before it finds you too.